Hi friends, this is Srividya. Welcome back to my channel on cardiology. And today we'll be discussing about the aortic valve disease. So what is this aortic valve disease? What type of heart disease is this and what happens in this condition? Usually, if you look closely, the wall between the aortic valve is the wall between the lower left heart chamber and the body's main artery. So if it is not functioning properly, then anyone ends up in having the aortic valve disease. So what does this aortic valve do? What is this? Like this aortic valve, it helps in keeping the blood flow in the correct direction through the heart. So if this valve is damaged or diseased, it can affect the blood flow to the rest of the heart and the body. So it's basically it's aortic valve stenosis. So somebody asked me, can you explain aortic valve stenosis? So each heart valve has flaps of tissue that opens and closes once per heartbeat. So these flaps are also called as cusps. Sometimes the aortic valve flaps, they become it becomes like thickens up and it becomes really stiff, and or they kind of connect together. So these kind of problems where the wall becomes thick and stiff, it causes the wall opening. So the aortic valve is not able to open up and close properly because the wall becomes thick or stiff. So what happens is the wall becomes narrow, and the narrow wall, when the wall becomes narrow, what happens? So just imagine, there is a pipe and there is a good water flow inside the pipe. It goes on, comes out good. Suppose the mouth of the pipe, like it has got a lid, and the wall, like you have a lid at the wall, the heart wall, aortic wall, and it becomes thick and it connects together. The opening becomes narrow, and what happens is the narrowed wall reduces or blocks the blood flow from the heart to the rest of the body. That is where the pain, some people experience pain. So what happens is the valve is not able to close properly. And when the valve is not able to close properly, the aortic valve, it causes the blood to flow backward into the left lowest heart chamber. So this kind of condition is what is called as aortic valve regurgitation. So many people, like even small kids who are born with aortic valve disease, this is called as congenital heart disease. So some people have it in the later part of their life, aortic valve disease due to other health conditions also. So what are the treatments for this aortic valve disease? So this can be, first we need to assess, the doctor need to assess the valve, the severity, like how much is the valve damaged. So if it has narrowed and there is a blockage in the blood flow, how much of blood flow is there, and they assess the severity of the disease. And sometimes doctors suggest like surgery to repair or replace the valve. So what happens is many people with this aortic valve disease, they have this kind of symptoms because there is a backflow of blood. Because the wall is thickened, there might be a backflow of blood. So the symptoms are like chest pain or tightness and dizziness, and sometimes syncope, like fainting, and fatigue after activity. Suppose they do some kind of work, so some kind of activity, they have they feel exhausted, they feel tired, and palpitations, irregular heartbeats, they can find shortness of breath. So when they are doing like a activity, like something strenuous activity, they feel a shortness of breath, or sometimes while lying down. So some people like complain like their children are not having appetite, they are not able to eat properly, the kids. They might have like aortic wall stenosis. So mainly are some children like underweight, they might be underweight. This also might be a result of aortic wall stenosis. So don't ignore if you have like chest pain, or you have symptoms of dizziness, or kind of, don't ignore it. And don't assess, don't self-medicate anything. Do not self-medicate unless you are, because the farm keeps changing. Pharmacology is the backbone, is the skeleton of medicine, and medicines are banned and they keep changing. So unless you know what involves it. So what is aortic valve? You might be wondering, what is this aortic valve? Shri has been talking about aortic valve, what is it? It is one of the 4 heart valves, and it is the final one, that takes the oxygenated blood as it leaves the heart. So it plays a very vital role, one of the 4 valve, and it plays a very vital role. So don't ignore any symptoms related to heart. Even if somebody says, my shoulder is paining, my leg is paining, any medical condition, don't ignore it. Because the heart is the center of body circulation. It is like a engine drives a car. It is an engine that drives oxygen that is being received in the lungs and to the tissues and organs, as well as to exchange carbon dioxide in exchange to carbon dioxide. Even the brain needs oxygen. Every part of the human body needs oxygen to function properly, and heart is the major part of it. The oxygenated blood travels throughout every organ and tissues through the aorta. So this large artery is bringing in protein, high level of, it's nourishing the entire human body by dividing into various branches. You have capillaries, smaller and smaller, minute, and blood with carbon dioxide waste returns to the heart through the venous system. So it's kind of very important part of the body. So what is the aortic valve? Like I said, aortic valve is one of the 4 heart valves, and is the important one that carries the oxygenated blood as it leaves the heart. And it is also called as aortic semilunar due to its semilunar shape. And where does it lie? It lies between the left ventricle and the aorta, to ensure that oxygen-rich blood does not flow back into the left ventricle. So aortic valve is typically, what is it made up of? It's made up of 3 membranes, collagen, mainly collagen. Then the valve is placed on the muscle ring connected to the heart valve. Very interesting. So it might be like aortic valve, like I said, it's a semilunar valve, maybe around 20 mm in diameter. And it has got like a 3 leaflets. Common congenital difference includes a bicuspid valve, and unicuspid valves can also be present. And this valve can be very clearly seen in an ultrasound, visualized, very well visualized in the ultrasound. So how is the valve divided? One of the highest pressure differentials of the cardiopulmonary system. It's very interesting. Subject to the daily wear and tear with aging and your activities, your lifestyles. It's not only dependent on one thing, it's dependent on many things. How do you maintain your everyday life? How do you come up? It's not just the one aspect of it. So the leaflets of the aortic valve connect to the aortic root via the aortic annulus. Then it gets suspended by fibrous structures called commissures. Then the leaflets, the leaflets and their corresponding sinuses. They derive their names. How do their names come? From the coronary arteries, from where they are arising, from the sinuses, left coronary, right coronary, and non-coronary. So normal anatomical variations can obfuscate, but it's very interesting. It's called, often they call the aortic valve as the aortic root. What does the aortic root consist? Left ventricular outflow tract till it meets the ascending aorta. It's very interesting. But like I said, with the time constraint, I'm going to end up my video here. Never neglect anything like the that's concerned, like symptomatic hearts, like your dizziness, chest pain, and prolonging chest pain, sharp chest pain, or pain in the left hand radiating till the end of your left hand, pain onto your shoulders, leg edema. Please go to the physician immediately. So with this, I'm ending up this video. Again, like I said, I've referred many journals on cardiology and just came up with this video. So wishing you all a healthy life. God bless. Thank you.